One of the things that I wish I knew when I started my PhD was that there are very little kind of expectations placed upon you to start doing work straight away. For example, I felt a lot of pressure when I first arrived that within day one I was to be sitting down producing work. However, in regards to a PhD, the first week, 2 weeks, even month, even, is about getting to know the kind of academic environment that you're in. So when you first start, don't be afraid to kind of go out, meet people in your office, in your department, because the expectation is that you need this time to settle in order to get into your work later on.
I'd say don't be afraid for things to go wrong. Things are going to change throughout the PhD. Things are going to happen that you don't expect. PhDs inevitably end up relying as much on other people as they do on you. And you've just got to be ready to react to it. You can't always be prepared for it, but just accept that it will happen and it will work out differently to how you planned, but that will all be okay as well.
I think one of the main sort of things that I took away from my first year of doing my PhD is that don't underestimate the value of writing down 1 or 2 small bits of information each day. It doesn't need to be a massive kind of in-depth diary sort of scenario, but if at the end of a week you've got a page of notes just about things that you've been thinking about, struggles you've been having, actually they prove a really valuable resource in future. Quite often, particularly in my second year, I looked back thinking, what did I actually achieve in my time? Because I felt like I had very little physical output. But as soon as I began to reflect on those notes, I realised I'd actually done a lot more and had been engaging with ideas more than I had previously thought.
So when I started my PhD, what I really wished that I had done is get to grips with Photoshop and Illustrator, and also get myself a good camera, because now I'm writing up my PhD and I've got all these images that I took with my phone, and they're okay, but they're not fantastic. It'd be great to have really crisp images. And also then editing the images would be a lot easier if I'd learned Photoshop in my first year.
I wish I'd known from the start that it is possible to have a life and do a PhD, because there's a huge stigma around the idea that a PhD is going to consume you and spit you out the other side and life won't have moved on at all. Personally, I got married during my PhD, which, don't get me wrong, it's stressful to do alongside a PhD, but it is possible. So don't be afraid to advance your personal life during your PhD and take time for it. Go on holiday, have hobbies, socialise. The PhD is a massive part of your life, but you need that balance with, real life, your personal life, that's going to keep you sane and get you through the experience.
One of the things that I also wish I knew in regards to when I started my PhD is that actually the best resources are the people around you. The other people in your office, in your department, are probably all going through or have gone through the same process that you have in regards to your PhD. So they're a really good kind of resource in order to ask any kind of question, not only about research and the process of designing research, but also from kind of a social perspective as well. So I think that one of the things I found when I moved to Exeter is that I initially thought that I would kind of be on my own. I'd be the only person moving to Exeter in order to complete their PhD. However, what you'll find is that probably most people in your department or in your office in regards to other PGRs tend to be in very similar boats to you. So what I find is that actually the social side of things is really good as well, because everyone is in the same boat and often wants to meet and kind of have a social time.
Be prepared for your PhD to change you as a person. The PhD is a largely solo journey, and you'll have lots of new experiences that can make you braver, more confident, wiser, more sceptical, and give you new perspectives on life.